Hey y'all, just wanted to drop in and provide a little insight as we kick off week 5 and as you wrap up your Project 1 package this evening. This package is due by 11:59 p.m. tonight. Anything late won't be accepted, and so this is a pretty big deal because it'll be 15% of your overall grade. The reason why we're doing this is because you want to bring everything that you've done together as far as Project 1 goes into one final presentation to showcase your work, to use as a case study on a potential portfolio piece or website or job opportunity, to showcase what you can really do. Oftentimes, UX designers don't just need to demonstrate the necessary design skills to build a prototype, but then also the essential skills to be able to share your work in a clear, concise a way as possible. And so in this module, we're going to compile all of our work from the previous 3 milestones into one final presentation. If you've been following along and you watched last Thursday's video, hopefully, I really hope you've gotten a head start on this, but you should be able just to copy and paste from the work you've already done, drag in your wireframe photos, take screenshots of your prototypes and things like that to create one final project package for presentation. This video is going to be included here as the only video within this module, but I wanted just to walk through the instructions one last time and share with you my version of the final project package. You can use it as inspiration to see an understanding of what I'm expecting for this final project presentation. So due again this evening at 11:59 p.m. You're going to compile your work from the 3 previous milestones and weave them together to tell a story of your effort on this project. Telling a good story is a big role, a big part of being a good UI UX designer. Being able to show your work from start to finish and how you started with why you even selected this business to ultimately what you achieved in your redesign is key, not just for this project, but for any project you would face as a UI UX designer. You can use this in a future job interview, a freelance opportunity, as a portfolio piece on either your personal website or spinning up your own Behance or Dribbble or any type of creative collaborative website. So to go over the requirements one last time, your final file type is going to be a PDF. The dimensions are going to be that classic 16 by 9 or widescreen format at 1920 pixels wide by 1080 pixels tall. Your final file should include highlights from your work in Project 1, your final visuals, links to your prototypes, links to your mood boards, wireframes, all of your work from milestone number 3. Now, if you notice, unlike the mood boards and the wireframes, there isn't an opportunity for you to repost your final prototypes in that milestone. Now, this is your opportunity to do that. So if you've made feedback, you've made adjustments from your submission of your prototype and reworked that a little bit, just include that in the link, include those final screenshots in this deliverable here. So as far as the instructions go, you need to finalize your prototypes based on your user feedback, based on your peer feedback. Revisit your work from the previous milestones and think about some of the highlights, the things you'd want to include in your final package. Your final project presentation should include this basic framework. And so you want to include a title slide, introduction and overview to the project. You can borrow from the project statement itself, tweak it to match your own, the outcomes or your elevator pitch, the why you decided to choose this website to redesign in the first place. You're going to show examples of your process. Show the before of your website. Show your mood boards, examples from that, and a link to it. Show your wireframes, the screenshots, the pictures that you took of the wireframes with links to that file. Show your prototype, examples of those images, and then links to that final prototype example as well. And then finally, the top 3 things you learned as a part of this project. You're going to submit that PDF as well as a 200 to 300 word explanation as to your outcomes from the project, any key takeaways, the things you're excited about as far as this project goes, as far as what you learned in Project 1. So let me just walk you through my final project presentation here. So I've got my appropriate file name, project1_presentation_RSF. I've got my title slide. I've got my project overview of what I'm doing in this project. I'm redesigning the Handles website for a fresh perspective and focus. In this project, I'm going to have the foundational steps for UI, UX principles and go from concept to prototype in Adobe XD. Here's the steps that I'm going to follow. I selected my business. I'm creating a mood board, developing my wireframes, and then building out a prototype. I've got my summary statement. So this is maybe that post a few weeks ago as to why you're selecting your website. I've got that outlined here. These are the 3 areas I plan on focusing for the redesign. Now, if you remember, you've already essentially posted this in a discussion post, so you can take those and succinctly describe them in this final presentation. I've also got the examples of the current website here. So I've got examples of the home page, the menu page, the fundraiser page that I decided to do. I've got examples from my mood board. And like I said, you're going to include examples from your mood board, but then also including the link as well. So I just generated the share link the same way that I did for my prototypes. And I can actually, if I was sharing this with a client, potential client, sharing this in an interview, I can actually jump into this link and show them what this actually looks like. And so it's a way for you to not have to include the full deliverable or milestone, but then you can actually link out to be able to show them more as well. So let me get back to this. So I've included, color palette, the basics of my mood board. I've included the photos and the UI inspiration. I've also included the wireframe. So again, I walked through in the wireframe milestone how to generate this view link, and also how you can just drag and drop your photos that you took from your wireframes, and so I can actually link those out here. So I don't have to worry about this being too small on this presentation or if I'm presenting it, because I actually can just link the client or the consumer of this presentation right out to be able to view all of my wireframes that I have here. Let's see, let's keep going on. So I have my desktop wireframes, I've got my mobile wireframes, and then I have examples of my UI. I have examples of my prototype. So I have my home page here, I've got my menu, and I've got my fundraisers page. Now again, this is just showing a snapshot of what this UI looks like. It's actually much longer than this, but I've included the link, and so I can actually click on that and jump in here and see the work that I've done, any updates you may have made to the actual prototype. And so all that is included here. As a potential business partner or somebody who's a potential employer, they can go here and actually look at the work that you've done, click through the links, and be able to see and consume your final redesign there. And then finally, I've just included my lessons learned. So I didn't have this finished in the last video. I have it finished now. My lessons learned for this project is to showcase the product. Handles is all about ice cream, so I wanted to showcase that. I learned about responsive design and making tweaks from desktop to mobile and pulling out any of the fluff or removing anything that wasn't important. And then I learned about consistent design. So creating repeatable patterns and components that I could use to quickly build out an interface there as well. So that's it. That's what you'd be submitting as far as your final PDF goes. Again, no late work will be submitted. Make sure that you get this in by 11:59 p.m. And that way you get as much credit as you can. It's a 20-point deliverable here, 20-point project. And so worth 15% of your grade. So make sure you get this in on time. Make sure you have your PDF with links to all of these examples for your mood board, wireframes, prototypes, and then accompany that PDF with 200 to 300 words explaining what you're happy about for this project. So y'all have done great work so far. Excited to see what you produce for this final presentation, and looking forward to seeing what you submit here this evening. So good luck, and I can't wait to review them. Thanks, y'all.